early so that we could get tagged. And we're live on YouTube as well. So make sure you check us out on YouTube. Let's see here.
Welcome. All
right. So this is the Eagle's Nest. My buddy Do Stuff is here. Here in about 30 seconds, you're going to hear a thing getting us started up. So hang tight while our intro gets kicked in here in a second. We're going to be talking about a few things. McCain, we're going to be talking about the shooting that happened in Florida. We're going to be talking about
Constitution.
The Constitution behind us. Notice we got the Constitution.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Love Talk Radio.
You were waiting for that intro.
The truth is out there.
That was good.
Knowledge is power. For podcast radio.
Just shut you again. My buddy Do Stuff back here
From California again.
Yeah, we're all from California, unfortunately. We're all stuck here, and we're going to be covering a couple things tonight. We're going to be covering the death of John McCain a little bit. We're going to be covering the shooting that happened in Florida and how that impacts us, and just a whole bunch of different stuff. So we have the Constitution up here behind us, so we'll cover a little bit of the Constitution while we're going. And but anyway, let's go ahead and get started. As most of you know, if you're on Facebook, you've heard or you've seen or you just know for sure that John McCain died. It's kind of weird how that happened because, he announced the day before that he was going to stop treatment, and the next day he was dead. So
he had something.
I don't know if they were. Yeah, he had something on Hillary. I don't know if they just stopped treatment and they expected him to go or what the deal was. But anyway, John McCain is dead. Now, whether or not you agree with him, whether or not you like him, whether or not anything else, he did have a relatively distinguished service record that was not blemish free. It had plenty of things on it that most people would cringe at. He was in the service right around. Did we check exactly?
No,
what the
we
dates
didn't
were?
check.
Okay, so he was in the service. He got shot down. He got captured. He was in. He was a POW for 5 years, and a lot of things happened in those 5 years. He basically gave up information that allowed the enemy to be able to shoot down 60 of our planes, and probably capture countless people in our groups in the military. But I digress. The only reason I have some strong feelings against the guy. I don't like dead. As far as a politician, as far as a military guy, I have strong feelings because my dad was in the military around the same time that McCain was. And he was in before McCain, and he still knows everything that McCain did. When he lit the aircraft carrier on fire by cold starting his jet, that was literally the worst thing that you could possibly do in the military. And he skated by on that.
Vietnam.
That was the Vietnam era. My dad was actually in a little bit earlier. He was in the Korean conflict. But, the idea is, McCain got off scot-free on a lot of things because his dad was an admiral. His grandfather was an admiral. And so, they could never see anything wrong. He was a hotshot pilot. I don't know how many planes he crashed. I think it was 5 or 6. Literally, why did they keep giving this guy planes? Every chance they got, he was up in the air and he was crash landing.
Who his dad was.
Apparently. And, if any of us get into back then, planes were probably a couple $1 million. Now they're 30, 40, 50, $100 million. Eventually the risk and the cost would outweigh, whether or not he was a good soldier or pilot, whatever. And not only that, but I read somewhere just recently, I think today, that out of 899 people, he was like 894th when it comes to his. Literally 893 people beat him out, and he was still able to fly. I just don't get it, Apparently, the military and the U.S. government has decided to up the standards a little bit, or we'd have people that, you know, play video games at home all day long flying our planes.
Yeah.
But, you know, now when you look at his political career, most people know he ran for president twice and got beat pretty handily twice. The second time he ran, he was with Sarah Palin. Now, I know Sarah Palin. I've met her. I've hung out with her. She used to frequent, but she is a blue-collar type person. And, you know, I think he needed someone like that, and I think it ended up blowing up in her face more than it did his. You know, I think, you know, with maybe the brain tumor was talking the last 20 years, I don't know, but he never voted one time positive for anything for the veterans
Or for patriots in general.
or for patriots in general, or really for America. Everything he voted on, and he was a flip-flopper. He would flip-flop on all kinds of crap. And yeah, I am, you know, some people may get irritated that I'm kind of talking some crap. I'm just talking facts. Every chance you got, the guy would vote something down when it came to what all the other conservatives in the country wanted. Excuse me, damn Dr. Pepper. It's one of those things where it's pretty obvious where his stance lied. It was more about the money and more about following other people's political ideologies rather than his own.
Yep.
So he just, you know, he passed away yesterday, and he left a $200 million estate to his family. You know, if you're an honest politician, you're not going to leave with that kind of money. You know, so I mean, you were in the military,
Yeah.
so you know a little bit about some of the things he's voted on. Give me your opinion on
McCain,
John McCain.
he just I think he was a back pocket Democrat. I think he followed even through the Obama era. He didn't do much to stand out. We didn't hear his name. He basically followed wherever the money was at and was willing to cast his vote wherever he could line his pockets. And that, I mean, we've seen it over and over again through, I don't know how many years he's been in there, but not a lot of people can name a lot of things that he did politically to help patriots or conservatives in general. So I honestly, I mean, you know, you didn't see him lining up to work with Trump.
Oh, never. I mean, he was probably Trump's biggest critic on the
Exactly.
side.
I mean, he was fighting him at every turn, standing next to whoever.
Pelosi.
Yeah.
You look at all the Democrats that are out there right now. Okay, they're all praising the work he's done. You know, there's a few Republicans that are doing the same thing, but they're all establishment Republicans, and they're all hardcore leaning left Democrats. You know, you got your Pelosi, Schumer, all those people are talking, you know, high grade and everything about McCain. Well, you know, if he would have been for Trump, these people would have never come out there and said a damn thing
Nope.
about
They
any of
wouldn't
his
even care.
accomplishments. They would have been like good riddance. In fact, you know, a week from now, you might even catch him pissing on his grave. That's how low these guys go.
Exactly.
So, you know, it really, it's pretty obvious. You know, he worked with the Democrats more than,
Yes.
and you can't say it's bipartisan because he never voted for anything that was going to help the country.
No, and I'm not cutting on his service. I'm just cutting on what his political, his whole political career. That's pretty much what I'm dumping on. His service, I'm sure, you know, whatever it, you know, it's sad, but that he could kind of turncoat that way, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the thing is he, to me, you know, from the time he was in the service to the time he was, you know, a congressman or whatever the hell whatever he performed in.
Whatever he became.
Well, yeah, I can't even say he was a congressman. He was like half a congressman.
Yeah.
But whatever it was he became, it's like he was a spoiled brat
Yes.
his entire life. And, you know, it probably started at a young age, like I said, with the military part of it. Daddy and grandfather just basically gave him everything he wanted.
Yeah.
He never had to really work for anything that was significant.
In politics.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know, and giving an example of how things skated by, Richard Nixon pardoned him, or if he wouldn't have pardoned him, he would have been in Leavenworth probably for the rest of his life. He would have been court-martialed, and that would have been the end of his career.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that more than Nixon had something to do with that, but that's, it is what it is.
It is. John McCain, there you go. Military service.
And here's for your
political
political service.
We got you.
All right. Now let's move on.
Wait. I want to fill everybody in on California being who we are, the liberals in San Francisco are eating themselves right now, so to speak. PETA came in. I guess they're established in San Francisco. But anyway, they put big signs up now down at the wharf that says it's basically against seafood because they're not food, they're friends. Or restaurant owners that are down there, that they're all liberals too.
Make their living off.
They make their living off of it. Now they're fighting with PETA because PETA's drawing their business away from their restaurants, and that's how they make their living, so forth. You get the drift. But that's a big fight right now, so it's kind of funny to watch being here in California. I don't know if you guys are seeing this.
So if you want to see something funny, go down to Pier 39
and watch out for the needles and shit on the ground.
And watch the liberals attack each other.
Yes, it's pretty funny.
We got to start selling tickets because that would be a blast.
Anything other news? Oh yeah, the Uber thing. Tell them.
Okay, so here's something.
That's in Chicago.
This is a public service announcement to all my friends out there that use Uber or Lyft or anything like that. There are people that are going around stealing this Uber signs and
or just making them at home.
They're making them whatever, and they're posing as Uber drivers, and they're picking someone up, taking them somewhere, and robbing them and dropping them off.
They're doing it in Chicago right now.
It's big in Chicago.
Yeah, it's in the news.
But expect it to hit other liberal cities like San Francisco. Oakland, places like that. Once things gain steam in one city, it kind of takes off in another. So if you in one city, it kind of takes off in another. So if you use Uber, you use Lyft, picking you up is the person you. I don't understand. That's probably not the best idea.
Well, it guarantees your safety.
So anyway, we're going to move on to the shooting that happened in Florida.
Oh yes, here we go.
A couple of days ago.
Yep.
So was it yesterday or was it Saturday? I think it was Saturday, right?
Well, it doesn't look. I think it was Saturday. Pissed off guy in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, some convention center, lost a video game.
He didn't get his way, and he didn't get a trophy.
That's right. He didn't get a trophy. He lost. They kicked him out. Told him that you lose, go home. He got mad and shot. What was it? 11 people got shot. 3 people died. Well,
I've seen
2
different
people
reports.
died,
I've seen different
including
reports
him.
on that. Yeah, I've seen different reports. I've seen as many as 4. I've seen as many as 2. All I know is he offed himself.
Yeah, and he killed 2 people with him.
Okay.
So how many people got injured?
I think it was 11. I think.
Fuzzy. Yeah.
But basically, here's what that kind of goes to show. It goes to show that liberals hate losing, and they're willing to do anything, to those ends. And this guy brought a gun into probably a gun-free zone and opened fire on people that were probably not paying attention. They had their heads in their
they all
games.
had their headphones on.
In fact, the video that I seen. But here's one thing, the take out of it that I get out of it. So with these, and he's 24 years old, I think what they said he was. He was between 20 and 24.
That's Snowflake.
So he's very young. Probably has never done anything significant in his life. He's probably never held a real job.
Still a virgin.
Probably never had any real bills. He probably lived at home with his mom. And this is the thing I'm going at here is we got this Alexandra, whatever her name is, in
I
New
can't
York.
even say her name. Ocasio?
I can't either. It's,
Something like that.
So you got this young person in New York, and now she's in the public spotlight because of
How stupid
politics.
she is.
Well, yeah, but she's in the public eye because of politics. Now you look at this young guy, and there could be some mental things wrong with him. They said that he had been
Mental institution.
at a mental health facility.
Yeah.
And so how did he end up getting a gun? I don't know if it was something, he stolen. I don't know if he bought it legally. I haven't seen any reports on that yet. But what I'm getting at here is the level of maturity for kids nowadays is far less than they were kids back when I was 24, 25 years old.
Yeah.
If you look at, whenever I started driving tractor when I was 13 years old for farmers. So,
Mm-hmm.
and another thing that you can look at as far as that goes is, and it may be because of student loans and all this other crap, but how long do kids live with their folks before they move out and move on? I know
39.
Well, yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm 42. We live with our mother-in-law, but she's also got health issues. So, I think there comes a time when you move away, you become empty nesters, whatever. And, some people move back to take care of their folks. That's one thing. But, the kids that are out there nowadays don't have any life experience before they get into things like this. And, this Ocasio, whatever her name is, some of the ideas that are coming out of her mouth,
Just don't
she would
listen
be
to it.
better off in Venezuela or in another country that didn't speak English.
Well, I was telling you earlier, I said, I don't understand what this push is for when it's as easy for somebody to literally get on a plane and go to country of choice and go to the laws that are already there that
they support.
that you support instead of trying to change a country, because we're a country that's been around 250 years. 250 years. We have risen number one, everything you could think of. We are the superpower of the entire world. We've done it in 250 years. Now you ask somebody, how long's Greece been around? Rome been around? Whatever. They've been around 30,000, 40,000 years. They're still in the same place that they were then. How did we rise to where we were? It wasn't from socialism. It wasn't from, communism. We did it through capitalism. And I don't understand why that's hard for people to understand.
Well, and we were talking earlier too about you take all these people that are against capitalism, all the young folks and everything, when they see communism as the greatest thing on the planet. Well, but they still support groups, or they support businesses that are fully capitalist. You got Google, you got Facebook, you got YouTube, you got
they're walking around with their
Amazon,
Starbucks and their Apple,
Walmart,
iPhone.
all these places that are fully capitalist. Yet your socialist, young
agenda.
people, the people that are pushing that agenda, obviously frequent Target. They obviously frequent Walmart. If we didn't have the capitalist country that we have now, how the hell would these people survive?
But all spoiled. Most of the kids nowadays are spoiled. They don't understand what's behind what they're advocating for. They are spoiled. They've never had to live in a socialist country. They've never had to live in a communist country. They have no idea what they're really talking about, other than they feel guilty because they were raised in a spoiled society, and now they want to give back somehow by.
And it's not even just that.
It's stupidity.
It's the people who are teaching this and who are pushing this. Those people that are pushing this.
Go ahead.
Somebody wants to talk to Ryan. Someone wants to talk to do stuff. So, basically the people that are pushing this stuff have never actually lived a communist or socialist life either. Your college professors. Now, they may have gone over and done some kind of a stint over in like Africa or, place like that. But, they never lived their lives doing that.
No.
And if you look at the generational thing, I remember when I was a kid and we got punished and we did all this kind of stuff. The thing that we used to say is, I'm never going to treat my kid like that. I'm never going to do anything like that. And we used to tell our parents that. Now, being 42 years old and having a stepdaughter that's 18 years old, I look back and go, the best thing that could have happened to me was to get my ass spanked when I wanted something and I threw a fit.
Yep.
And, we need to bring that back. And there is some schools that are out there that, with the permission of the parents, have brought back spanking.
Yeah, it's like Oklahoma.
Doesn't matter. It's the Midwest. It's got to start somewhere.
It won't happen here.
No.
Parents still have to do it here.
Well, and the parents barely do it here, if at all.
I did it, and I almost I was this close to like jail for it.
Yeah, I mean, when my parents spanked me or disciplined me, they never left any marks on me. It was more of a scare tactic than anything else, but it worked. You know, my mother was 5'1", weighed maybe 90 pounds. And when I was 16 years old, there was something I wanted. I threw a fit in front of my friends. I figured if I did that, I'd get it. She slapped the taste out of my mouth one day. I'm 6'2". She's 5 foot nothing. And she slapped me across the face one time. I literally just knocked the words right out of my mouth. I couldn't say anything.
Well, she
And
smacked the
my
stupid
friends,
out of you.
it not only affected me, but my friends were like, holy shit, did you see that?
You see Tank?
I mean, literally, that was like, holy crap. I didn't know what the hell happened.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, though, from that point on, I was a good kid,
Yeah.
at least the rest of the week. But that kind of stuff rarely happened with me. But there was a few times I got a paddle on the butt because there was something I wanted in a store,
Sure.
and didn't get a chance to get it. But
We all threw tantrums.
and that's the thing that kids grow up with. But this kid in Florida, 24 years old, he's never really known disappointment, obviously, until he lost the game.
The video game.
He took something that was fantasy and basically couldn't handle it, and then went out in real life and shot up the place, killed people. So to say that video games don't affect our youth, it does.
Is a fallacy.
It does in a way. Now, we had video games when I was a kid. We had Pitfall and we had football and baseball and all that kind of stuff. But we didn't have the violent graphics. We didn't have all the crap that they have nowadays. And, eventually that stuff affects kids. Movies do the same thing.
Well, wait a minute. Wait. We grew up watching Rambo, Predator, some of the most violent movies. We had Faces of Death. All these, we could see it at any time, but it was how we interpreted it. We knew deep down inside, we knew it was wrong.
And we
don't do
also
that.
could go out and buy toy guns left and right.
Oh yeah, you could. I mean, it was no big deal. For you to be 8 years old, 10 years old, have your own BB gun was no big deal. Your own 22 was no big deal. And you had the ability to take somebody's life, but we knew the difference. Our parents
Instilled in that, yeah. They instilled that kind of stuff into us.
So I honestly don't think it's a video game problem. I think they're literally ripping it out of everywhere. Beliefs, everywhere anymore.
And Gabe Silva just said something on our live that makes sense. Back in the day, the community would slap you upside the head,
Sure,
and take.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
So we have to find a way to change minds. And change our politicians.
Dude, Trump is trying to make this political correctness disappear. He's trying to get us back on path, but he's got so much resistance from the left that wants a socialist, happy unicorn paradise that it will never exist. It will never exist. No matter how much you push for it, everybody's not going to get along with everybody. It's just not going to happen.
Well, we'll never have a utopian society.
No, but they think we will.
It's not possible.
I mean, I got a lady. She got mad at me because she said I wasn't PC enough, and I said, "Well, I don't have to be PC. I go, literally, I can hate you because you're wearing a green shirt. I could just hate you, and I could not like you. And people they're literally, if you're not this happy gum chewing peppermint world, I mean, I don't know.
Well, and there's so many things that are wrong with the way things go in the country anymore, and you can't pinpoint one specific thing. It's gone so far out of whack. It's almost like the planet's ready to flip.
Yes.
Another thing that we've been that I've been following pretty exclusively, and this kind of goes into the prepper thing, is if you look in the last 2 weeks, how many earthquakes the United States, not the United States, but the world has had. We've had earthquakes in Peru. We've had earthquakes in Fiji. We've had earthquakes all over the place.
God's pissed.
He's mad. I mean, if you believe in God, I believe that there is a higher power, but I don't kind of buy into the fact that he wants us to go to a church and spend money and pray for him. I believe it's in your heart. I believe what you believe is what you believe. And, I believe that there's a higher power, and I believe right now he's not in a good mood. And, you look at all the stuff that's happened in the last year and a half, 2 years, And if you're, let's use this as an example. If you're a Jehovah's Witness right now, you think apocalypse is happening. All this stuff that's going around the world, you think that you got to start doing something and throw your Hail Marys out there or whatever. I don't know, but this is apocalypse times for them, and there's all kinds of weird stuff going on. I mean, if you look at the Pope is under fire right now because of the priests in Pennsylvania. There was 300 priests.
Yeah, they're raping boys.
That got caught sexually abusing kids. Over 1,000 kids, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's gone as far back to the Pope, and a lot of people are calling for the Pope to step down.
Yeah,
because he knew about it. That's the accusations.
But nobody listens to the Pope anyway.
Well, no, he was on an airplane and he was interviewed. This was just on Fox News, like maybe 30 minutes ago.
Oh.
They had interviewed him, and he did not deny anything. So the calls for getting rid of the Pope are getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
One sick guy like that. He's the same guy that says tear down the walls, but he's got a wall right around the Vatican. Yeah. I don't listen to anybody that hypocritical. I mean, whatever.
Well, and here's the thing, guys, and this is how I kind of think. The president is our spokesperson for the United States. He's the guy that, comes up with the ideas to make the deals and keep peace and all that kind of stuff. He's the guy that goes over to other countries, strikes up their leaders. The Pope is kind of the same thing. But if you look how many people worship the Pope or worship anybody that leads that kind of thing, the religious thing, to me, is very, you get everybody on the planet that follows you to basically jump. If he says jump or if he says do this, they do it. And I mean, without question. So it gets very dangerous whenever you got, 300 priests in one specific state
raping little boys
that are, doing shit that they shouldn't be doing, and then they basically are trying to disavow it or they're trying to deny it and everything else. It's pretty damn shocking. And, with Trump in there and with Sessions and, people say that Sessions ain't doing anything.
He isn't.
I'll tell you right now, if you look how many pedophiles have been arrested, he's doing stuff. He's just not doing the right stuff.
He's not doing it. He's going after the wrong stuff right now.
Well, yeah, he should have started with Hillary and ended with everything else. But, the arrest records and everything, the indictments that have been laid out have been heavily on either illegals or pedophiles and human trafficking. And yeah, we do need that kind of stuff, but they're ignoring a lot of the big stuff that caused the country to be in this position to begin with. So, it's pretty amazing that we've gone this far, and us as citizens have let it happen. Huh?
Oh, I was going to say, wouldn't that fall under like the FBI's jurisdiction since it's child endangerment, and then so many, wouldn't that constitute under trafficking, other things like that?
Well, I think it would fall under a bunch of different jurisdictions. You'd have the FBI.
Exactly.
You'd probably have the Central Intelligence Agency because they monitor everything. NSA.
I'm just wondering why Judge Sessions finds, since we have all these other acronyms out here that could chase people like that, why is he not focusing on, Hillary Clinton and,
Well,
the rest of the mess.
You gotta keep in mind now, if there's any truth to the allegations that every time someone looks into the Clinton, someone ends up dead. I don't know if Jeff Sessions has a Secret Service watching his back. I don't know, what his situation is with security, but just the thought of going after Hillary, with doing what he's doing, kind of sends chills up my spine, because anytime you go after somebody like that, now you're putting yourself not only in the spotlight, but also putting yourself in danger. And, there's a lot of people out there that are willing to do anything that they can to either undermine Trump, go after Trump, and anyone else in his administration. In his administration. So the only guy that I'm not seeing anybody screw with is Mattis. Mattis literally gets zero guff.
He's in charge of the, all of everything, like everything. He could just drop a nuke on your house. I wouldn't want to piss that guy off.
Gabe, I'm glad you brought that up. That's I'm going to go into that.
What did you bring up?
Look how they classify the vagina as front hole.
Oh yeah, we were gonna bring up front hole. Dude.
So for those of you who don't follow everything and you don't see everything, you'll get a kick out of this. But
Well, I think it's everywhere they're trying to classify that. Right?
well, I don't know who it is exactly. I can't remember. I seen the article on it, but they're trying to get rid of the word vagina
because it's not inclusive enough.
and they're
because
I
don't know why.
it doesn't matter. I mean, if you think about it, the reason that they're doing that is because if you really think about it, men, we have a front hole also. It's attached to a shaft, but it's still a front hole, right? So I think that what they're trying to do is I think that they're trying to somehow
generalize
people's sexuality or whatever.
Well, I'm not going to freaking lie to you to tell you what you pretend. I'm not going to pretend. I just ain't going to do it. So I'm not going to pretend to anybody out there. I don't care who you are. You can be guy dressed as a girl. You want to be called Janet. I'm not going to want me to, kind of pretend that that's who you are as Janet, the Wonder Waffle. It ain't going to happen. I am going to just
the Wonder
I'm gonna
Waffle
be right up front to you and be like, you're a dude and you got to go.
Well, so here's what I want all my friends.
Sorry.
Here's what I want all my friends and listeners to imagine. Okay.
I don't want to imagine it.
Ladies, you're going to laugh at this a little bit, and guys, I know you're going to get a kick out of this. But
I like funny
what
stuff.
I want you to do is imagine going on a date with somebody. You're having a romantic evening somewhere. You're out in the car. You're having a good time. You go back to your apartment, your house, whatever,
There's a front
and you're having a good time, and things get to that point, and how do you direct your partner? Do you tell them, "Oh, I want you to close my front hole tonight," or what the hell? Who comes up with this stuff? Well, I mean, literally everything stupid that you can come up with, the left has come up with it. I mean, they're running out of crap to
literally
to change.
To bitch about.
I mean, I mean, you first they went and they wanted to add pedophile to the LGBTQ community.
No, they're still trying to do that.
No, I know that, but that was the whole thing where they're trying to be inclusive, right? So now they're trying to, and it's got to be the feminists or the crazy, I don't know.
I don't
even come up with a version of the vagina. Vagina. The vagina is still a scientific term used for women's.
It's in the dictionary.
Well, it's used for the definition of everything, including with a woman. But to use the term front hole, they're basically washing that away. And in 2 years, this stuff will probably be in the dictionary somewhere.
No, well,
I guarantee they'll try. They've already done away with the certain parts of the Constitution.
Yeah, well, socialism, they changed the meaning of that in the dictionary, which is just astronomically crazy. But
well, anybody that can pick up an old history book can figure out what socialism is. I mean, 20 years from now, you're going to look and you're going to wonder what the hell a front hole was, what it was called to begin with. They're trying to wipe out history. It's like the Silent Sam stood up. The whole purpose of that monument being erected was because he stood up against racism and all that kind of crap.
Because these people, everybody that's on here knows that the left has completely lost their rocker. You are not. If you're taking them serious, I don't know what to tell you. You've got as many problems as they do, but they're getting so stupid with the things that they're doing now. There's no way anybody can take the stuff they're doing now seriously. I see a lot of people they can't. There's no way you can take people like this serious anymore. It's just a laughing kind of thing where you just kind of shake your head at it and we bring it up and we laugh about it together. But there's no way people are out there taking stuff serious.
I tell you right now, if it makes the news, if it actually makes the news and someone comes on to talk about it, there's people taking it serious.
Well, yeah, that's CNN and that's everything.
It's on Fox News too, dude.
Everything. CNN makes everything news.
Dude, it's on Fox News. It's on OAN. It's on all of them.
Really?
It's not just the whole front hole thing. I've seen it on every news organization out there.
Could we just go call it pussy then?
Heard of that.
I mean, that kind of sums it up. I know what that is, and front hole or not, I know what that is if you say it.
Well, it's ridiculous to think that changing something's name doesn't change what it is.
No.
It doesn't change the definition of it.
No, but to liberals it does.
It does not.
Well, no. I understand that, and everybody out there understands that, but that's not how you see how San Francisco works. They think by changing the name, all of a sudden it's something different now. You know, you put like you just said, you put pedophiles on the LGBTQ LMNOP thing, and all of a sudden they're normal people, and you know they run around with a dildo on their head.
And you have to accept.
You have to accept it, exactly. So that's what
Okay,
they're
that
trying to do.
that remains to be seen. Okay, so they come out with front hole. Now, does that mean that the people wearing the pink hats and the costumes and shit are they the front hole hat? They're front hole brigade.
They're front hole hats.
I mean, literally.
They're always gonna bring up something. They're always gonna bitch about something.
I mean, that's the thing is we've become a country of
Whiny babies.
Exactly.
Yes, whiny little babies.
If you were to take half, and I'm saying half, if you were to take half the liberals that are out there right now, and you were to dump them in another country with a conflict, they would be done. They'd be completely done.
Well, even without a conflict, I mean,
they couldn't survive on their own.
No, they couldn't. But you could send them to Venezuela and let them have a piece of socialism for a couple months, and then leave them there. I think the president should get everybody who doesn't like the way our country is and how it was founded and our beliefs, get country of choice who gives them a free ticket. One way. Go.
Well, here's one of the things that I've always thought, and me and a coworker at work talk about this all the time. One of the biggest things going on, we're populated. If you followed anything up to using our natural resources, we're actually they have a rating to where every year each country or the world is allowed to use so many resources. And up until about 20 years ago, we were okay with how much resources we had and how many people were on the planet. Now we're literally going through a year's resources in August. Yeah. By the time August hits, we've already gone through the entire year's resources. So in 20 years, we're going to be going.
Really good protein. Yeah, you're good there. Anyway, calorie content,
But now I want to. The reason I said that is because if you look anywhere on Facebook, you look anywhere on social media, you have all these white people that are out talking about.
Can't believe you said that.
We need to have, basically. I'm just going by what I see on Facebook.
White people.
You see all these people holding signs up that white people are evil, we're the devil.
Oh my God.
And most of these people are white that doing this. So, and everything will be happy once, all the white people are dead or whatever. Well, here's my message to you. If you really believe that, that every white person on this planet deserves to die, just go ahead and do us all a favor and remove yourself from the gene pool. Because literally that is the dumbest thing you can be doing is walking around with a sign saying that all white people need to die. White. And you're white.
Yeah.
Literally, that's the dumbest thing on the planet.
I say, come get me. Come get me. Come kill me.
I mean, wouldn't the best way to protest, wouldn't that be just to, leave a note? And a lot of speculation on what's going on over in Africa right now. Have you heard about the white genocide over there?
Yes. Okay. They're taking the people that live Farmland. There. They're taking their land. They're killing them, beating them up, blah, 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 blah. I don't even know what to say about it because it's in a different country. We can't do nothing. I mean, other than the UN getting involved, calling it criminal, that they're.
Well, here's the way I look at it. If you're going to take over other people's farm that have been doing this for years and making crops and everything else, good luck. Because these people are there. They have their farms for a reason.
So be it.
Good luck planting food. Good luck surviving after all that.
It's just stuff that we have no control over.
They're going to be another Venezuela.
So what?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So what? See, these countries do it to themselves, and then they want refugee status here. Venezuela, Africa, Iraq, wherever. But they want refugee status here. And then they come here with their beliefs and everything that they want to turn this country into what it is not. They came here for help. They came here for a dream. Well, everybody that's ever done that, I don't care whether you were Japanese, Chinese, Mexican, from the beginning of time, they have assimilated to our culture because of who we are. We have never,
and what we offer.
Never in history have we looked at our culture and decided that we were going to change it to fit other people's needs. Kiss my ass. Get the hell out of here. Go back to where you ran. You needed refugee status to be here. You left that country claiming you needed help. We brought you here. Adapt or get the hell on. I don't get it. It's real easy. We're not going to change to be a Muslim country.
Here's something that a lot of people don't look at. They overlook. Okay, the thing with the UN, the thing with all these other countries, the New World Order, whatever you want to call it, is the way that they get this stuff done, the way that they get people come over, they want the refugees. So if we would just stay out of conflicts like Iraq, if we were to stay out of Afghanistan, if we were to stay out of Syria, if we were to just stay out of that and let them do their thing, we would never have to worry about refugees because, for one, they're start figuring out if we don't fight, we're going to die. And, you know, that's the thing. We keep going over being the world's police. You know, we're going to end up getting all the refugees from all the countries. Now, I know it's one of those things where you want to go over and you want to protect people. But there comes a point when, you know, you have a conflict every 3 years.
Every 6 months.
Yeah. Literally, I mean, you're not pulling anybody out. You're just switching them out like continually. It becomes pretty stupid. And, you know, we've armed so many different places. We've sent arms over to Iraq, Afghanistan, everything else.
I don't have anything against refugees. I have nothing against people.
If they're actually refugees.
If you're coming here legally and you want to assimilate to this country, I speak for probably almost everybody that's a patriot or conservative. We have no problem. But when you come here, you look at places like Minnesota, and they are pretty much they're Dearborn and all that stuff. They're literally nothing but Muslims. You see people putting up videos, and they're driving to town. There's not everybody's wearing a veil over their head, and they're literally, I mean, shutting down entire cities. It's not going to happen.
If you come from a third world shithole, or you come from a third world country, and you want to come to a country that does well and can give you the life that you want, and yet you still want to turn it into that third world shithole,
go back.
Go back.
Go back. Don't stay here. Please don't stay here. If you loved it
so much, why did you come here?
Exactly.
That's what I say. And I know that you may be escaping conflict and everything else. Exactly. Well, don't bring the conflict with you.
Yeah. You go to if you go to Venezuela, go somewhere else. Canada will take you.
So
we want to hear what you have to say.
Exactly.
Tell us. Come on. Give us something.
All right. The number to call in is 845-241-9930. And don't forget to press 1. That'll get you to the queue and get you to Judy.
Judy.
Again, 845-241-9930. Please give us a call and let us know what you think.
Yeah.
You know, it in my lifetime, being 42 years old, I grew up around Reagan. I was born at the end of Carter. Reagan's the only good president before Trump that I remember.
No, Kennedy, even though he was a Democrat,
he wasn't in my lifetime.
Well, still though, he was a really good.
No, Kennedy was a great guy.
He was a great guy,
but
you know, he was all about freedom, which the new Democrats, socialists are not.
No, it's a 180-degree flip.
Yeah,
no,
Kennedy. It's 360. It's gone completely loopy.
No, if it was 360, it'd be going the same way as Kennedy.
No. No. Pretty much went 360 and broke, and just
it's still doing this.
It's still doing this. It's gone.
It hasn't figured out which direction to go yet.
They're front hole in socialism and everything else in between. It's a mess.
So, all right, guys, call in.
Do we have somebody?
Opened the phone lines, not yet. 845-241-9930.
They're there.
One.
I know they're there.
Something else that we didn't mention too. And this happened since my last show. Actually, it might have happened before my last show. I just didn't mention it. The training camp down in Mexico.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Good shit.
Instead of going in there and picking up evidence, everything else, they bulldozed it and they exploded it. They blew it up. Alan from North Carolina. Let's put him on.
Yeah, let's put him on there. I like North Carolina.
Hey, how y'all doing, brothers?
What's going on?
How we doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. First of all, I agree 100% what y'all are saying about the Muslims and the refugees.
Yep.
And I mean, I lived in Texas for 20 years.
Yeah.
And it's been saturated with Mexicans.
Yeah.
No offense, I'm not racist.
Yeah.
Okay. And that it's got so overpopulated in Texas since I moved here that biological family thinking about moving to northern part of the United States.
Well, it's cold there.
Because, yeah, most definitely. And
Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties.
uh,
It's hard to hold a
No,
phone and a beer at the same time. I know.
yeah, no, I don't drink.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the problem.
All right. Yeah. Then.
No. See, I'm in the house with a family that's still asleep.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But anyways, might come to if they want to come to the United States, speak our language, pay our taxes, don't ask for a freaking handout.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if y'all know this, but y'all probably do. Y'all do a lot more research on this stuff than I do. Believe it or not, when the refugees, okay, so-called refugees from Israel or
Wherever.
Iraq, Iran, they automatically, as soon as they get off that freaking boat, they get the government pays them $5,000. Okay,
Yep.
Mhm.
and turn around within a couple years, they help them
Establish.
set up a business.
Yep.
They get-
Yep.
Huh?
Yeah, they establish. They give them money. They give them housing. They give them allowances, and then they help them establish.
Okay. Now they're talking. Okay. So we both know about it.
Yes.
So why, instead of paying them the $5,000 or however much it is, helping them establish a business here, okay? How about they flip that to actual Americans, the blue collars like you, me, whoever else that's on this live video feed? How come they can't do that?
What-
If they could do that, we wouldn't be having the veteran homeless. If we wouldn't have so many damn homeless people in Texas,
I agree.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
I agree.
Well,
all that.
here's another thing. Here's another thing that you may not be aware of. But when we get refugees over here, one of the things that happens with them, like say if you have bad credit, right? Okay, they don't know anything about these
Mhm.
people that come over, so they literally already have a better credit rating than most of the people in
Sure.
the United States,
Sure.
whether they've done anything or not.
Well, it's to populate.
Well,
It's I'm not saying that I agree. Americans should come first. I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know exactly why they don't give the opportunities to the Americans first. That's something that money that they're getting is all delegated through Congress first. So you gotta, I guess, somehow get in there and talk to Congress and get them to change how they do things, because any money that's spent through this government has to go through Congress. So I don't know why they do that. I agree with you 100%. It should be Americans first. That's the way it should always be,
Well, my thoughts is reason being, okay. Don't take this the wrong way, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the millennials, all the freaking millennials now. They don't know how to fucking work.
No,
Excuse
they
my language, I'm
don't.
sorry. I know we're online.
You're 100% right, because we've even where I work, we've hired them, and they claim to have skills. And we had one guy not too long ago. He couldn't work a drill, but he claimed he could use all the tools, but he didn't know how to work a drill. He didn't know how to use a tape measure. It was amazing.
Well, if you look at the millennials that are out there now, like I don't know what they do in school anymore, but when I was in elementary school in kindergarten, they gave you all kinds of tests that you had to do, right? You had to do a hand-eye coordination test, right? You had to catch a ball. You had to read the ABCs. You had to know what 2 + 2 was.
Now you need to know exactly where the front hole is. That's
Well,
it.
I'm surprised that some of these kids can find their nose to pick it.
Okay, now we're talking about education. Okay, my wife is a school teacher.
Good for her.
So is mine.
Good for her.
And,
Praise her. Praise her. Hopefully
Okay.
she's teaching those kids right.
yeah, I mean, okay, my wife got the hardest
Yes, she
freaking
does.
job.
Yes, she does.
Because because I could hear some. She tells me some of the stories that comes out of high school. She's teaching high school Spanish.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. If she tells me some of these stories, like prime example, we just started school here in North Carolina. She just told me a story from last year that she saw two boys holding hands and kissing each other. Two girls holding hands, kissing each other, grabbing each other's ass and tits and all that. Excuse me. But where does it say, okay, I know there's some atheists and I know there's some people that doesn't believe in the Holy Bible like we do.
Sure.
Okay. Where does it say in the Bible that man should be married to man, women should be married to women?
Well, I'll tell you what.
Last time I checked in Genesis.
Well, in today's society, just keep it, you know, I mean, you can't change what other people are going to do. And it's not worth getting into an argument over, or even putting your opinion on them. That in itself, I mean, it's,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Let people do what they're going to do and let them believe what they're going to believe. I mean, I personally, if I see stuff like that, I just turn around and walk the other way because you know what? It's not worth it.
Yeah, you got to pick your battles.
Yeah, pick your battles.
You got to pick something that's going to, you know.
Okay. Hey, I understand that 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, when you walk into Walmart, well, okay, everybody knows about Walmart. You see all kinds of crap.
We have Walmarts here.
But okay, and I mean when you walk in the Walmart, okay, with your family, I got two girls. Okay,
Sure.
Judy knows one of them really well. Judy Monroe.
Yeah.
She knows one of them really well. My oldest one, Tori. Okay.
Okay.
She's clueless. Okay. She's clueless. Okay. The same with my 4-year-old daughter.
Sure.
They're clueless. They're mine. Okay. When you go walk into Walmart, when you see a man or he or whatever you want to call him.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. All right. Your daughter. Both of your daughters look up at you and say, "Hey, Dad, Mom, why is that man wearing a dress?"
I've had to deal with the exact same thing with my sons, and I just chalk it up that there's crazy people in this world, and we can't change what they do.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't fix everybody.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. You also can't shelter your kids from what's happening out there. You can give them a baseline of how to deal with it. And just either, you know, it's not natural, walk away. But you literally, you're kind of talking about how are we going to change society? I mean, if you spent one day over here by San Francisco, you just literally, I mean, you know, there's nothing you can do. So, you know,
yeah.
I mean, you're going to have to just chalk it up as to they're just crazy or they have their head in the wrong place.
Hey, Alan. Hey, buddy, I'm gonna go ahead and cut. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off. I got another caller on the line. I need to take. I got about 5 more minutes.
Very nice talking to you.
Very nice talking to you, though. Call back in again next week.
Thank you.
All right, man. Have a good one.
All right, thank you.
All right, buddy.
Thank you, brother.
Take care. All right, let's go ahead. Yep. Bye-bye. Let's go ahead and put Melina on.
Hey, how y'all doing?
What's happening? How are you?
Good, doing good. So show's fantastic as always. Just wanted to throw that out there. But
thank you.
I wanted to talk about, you know, what you guys are talking about immigrants. I don't come in here and then assimilating to our cultures, and how dangerous it is when we don't enforce that. So I wanted to talk about Islamberg, New York. So I know there's a lot of people that know about it, a lot of people that don't. But it's a compound that's run under Sharia law, and Sharia law is respected by the local police department. So the police department aren't allowed on the ground to investigate anything, and the government seems to be okay with that. So if you approach the gate, there are men that are armed, and you can't get past the gate. The kids used to go to public school, fight with the other kids. So that's what happens when we don't enforce people coming to our country and saying, look, this is the United States. This isn't, you know, a Middle Eastern country. we get these compounds popping up. And
Mhm.
when our government allows that to happen in places like New York, they start popping up everywhere, and they're popping up everywhere. And that's a really scary situation for us because, at what point
My water.
are they going to start infiltrating, other areas? I mean, you guys talked about Dearborn, same situation.
Well,
Mhm.
it's, and Minnesota, they're getting a bunch of the Twin Cities,
Michigan.
and it's all different types too. I mean, it's not just it's not just one type of Muslim. It's basically you got your Shiites and your Shia and everything else.
Sheiks.
And what's going to end up happening is the more we get in here, now anyone that follows history knows that Shia and Shiites, they don't get along anyway. That's like a problem brewing to begin with, and you put certain ones in different parts of the country, eventually you're going to have a conflict.
Mhm. Yeah, but
It's true.
Yeah.
I did an article on Islamberg because the Proud Boys and a bunch of other patriot groups do the annual ride by every year to bring awareness. But in doing research on that, I found, what England is going through with all of that and some parts of Germany.
yeah,
There are, Muslims that want Sharia law that are literally taking over entire cities
yeah.
and
90
saying, okay, this is
seconds.
now Sharia law. And they're so large with so much power that local law enforcement, they can't do
Yeah.
anything.
Well,
They
and
leave
a lot
them
of them are
alone.
scared to go over because
Yeah.
of fear of retribution.
You can all thank Obama for this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, because that's where all this
Absolutely.
that's where all this started coming in, because we didn't think back. Before he was in there, we were all together as Americans after 9/11. Now it's literally
60 seconds.
it's a mess now.
Melina, I got about 1 minute left. Do you want to close the night off?
You want me to close the night off?
If you want to.
I'll let you close the light off. Just
Okay.
the night off.
Okay.
You guys are awesome. Love your shows, Dustin.
Love yours
I'll
too.
see you on Thursday.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right,
Thanks.
take care.
Bye, guys. Love
Bye.
what you do. Bye.
So that's about it for the Eagles Nest tonight. That was Melina. She actually runs a show on our network as well. Very smart person. So if you get a chance to listen to her, check her out. Valerie Ragucci, the Patriot. My brain is just like completely skipped. So my network, the network I'm on, definitely check out the other hosts that are on here.
Seconds.
Because and say so. Check out Melina and Valerie for sure, and also D Cooper. D Cooper's got 2 or 3 shows, so check them all out. And this is Sherman Tank, my buddy Do Stuff. We're gonna do more stuff, but we're out. We'll catch you later.
But that should have been pretty good.
Yeah.
What the hell? Who is it?